Sheni and Parshat Lecha over here in the beginning of in Perek Yud Bet Pasuk Yud. Vayi Rav Ba'aretz V'Yered Avram Mitzrayim and Legur Sham Ki Kavod Avram Haaretz. Avram Avinu left Eretz Yisrael, or it's Canaan at the time, and he went to Mitzrayim. Now we know there's an Isser of leaving. It's brought in many of the Sefer Mitzvahs. There's an Isser of leaving Eretz Yisrael. Once you live here, it's not so simple to go ahead and leave unless for accentuating circumstances. And therefore, the question is, how can he go ahead and leave? We know even Elimelech, we know in Megillus Rus, Elimelech, Machal, and Kilian, they died for leaving. You're going to tell me maybe there was a rav, there was a hunger, there was a reason to do it. So the Gemara Baba Basra and Tzadi Aleph brings that only brings a certain amount of what type of hunger is permitted to be able to do it. And over here, it didn't seem to fall into those clarifications. We know that Avram Avinu kept the whole entire Torah, including Isurim Derabanan. Afilu Erev Tov Shilam, the Gemara over there says. So if so, how can he go ahead and leave Eretz Yisrael if it wasn't enough? Believe it or not, the Ramban here says a whopper of a chiddush. He says, Mikan chota Avram Avinu chet gadol, something that if someone nowadays said that, you'd put him in the slammer. He goes ahead and says that Avram Avinu did a big chet. What was the chet? That he left Eretz Yisrael and he went and took his wife and put his wife in peril, and they had to lie in order to make sure that they were saved. And he says this was the reason why. And he says this was one of the reasons why they went into Galut afterwards in Mitzrayim. Unbelievable. They went to Galut because he did this sin that did it. But you know what? The Ramban's based on the Zohar, Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, who says the same thing. There's only one difference. The Zohar says that the sin was that he left Eretz Yisrael, like we've been speaking out. The Ramban doesn't mamish say that. The Ramban is madgish that the Isser was because Hashem told him stay in Eretz Yisrael. He said, Lech Eretz Yisrael. He said to be in Eretz Yisrael. What are you going to Mitzrayim for? What are you going to busy yourself in America? So it's nicer over there. Stay here in Eretz Yisrael. What do you have to do? Okay, so you have to settle with the smaller parking lots. What's the big deal? How can you go ahead and leave? So the answer is the Ramban is Lashitato, because he writes in Parshat Bamidbar in Perek Lamed Gimel. This is brought in the Sefer Minchat Aaron. That says the Isser to leave Eretz Yisrael is a part of the mitzvah of Yishuv Eretz Yisrael. Since there's a mitzvah of living in Eretz Yisrael, there's also an Isser of leaving Eretz Yisrael. So that mitzvah of Yishuv Eretz Yisrael, the Sefer Meshech Chochmah and Chavta B'Perach both write the mitzvah of Yishuv Eretz Yisrael only happened after he was promised by the Brit Bein B'Tarim to get Eretz Yisrael, which happened later in this parsha, not yet. So he still did not have the mitzvah of Yishuv Eretz Yisrael per se, and therefore the Isser of leaving Eretz Yisrael per se was not existent, and therefore he was permitted to leave, and therefore the next time over, and Yitzchak did not necessarily leave Eretz Yisrael. At least from here we see not only is there an Isser of leaving, but there's a mitzvah of coming.